So coming in number 5 is Birds of Prey and the something Harley something Harley. Oh god, why did this movie have to have such a long title? So I don't really like to always be all saying woke on this channel, but this is a movie, like, if it did not have the talented actors and like the fun action direction, I would have probably said like this movie is a little too woke at times. But it really isn't that woke at all. But it definitely has some stuff, like it's really trying to like hate on men. But I gotta say, like, the fact, like, these action scenes are very, like, well shot, and that's because I think, like, the John Wick people, like, worked on, like, all the choreography and the direction and all the action scenes. I think Margot Robbie's, like, a little bit better in this movie, since she's, like, you know, it's actually, like, really showing the intoxication of Joker and Harley's relationship. It's more showing off more of her personality. And also like I like the other supporting actors. I think I kind of wish we got a little more of like Mary, wasn't Elizabeth. Shit, I always like I forget like how it's like how it, I forgot how the names. It's like 3 names and it's like 3 names and it was like Mary Elizabeth Winstead. I wish we got a little more of her as Huntress. I think she is fun. I like Black Canary. I didn't like the teenage girl character that much. I didn't really care for the cop character because I hated that sure was so like cringy, and I think some of her lines, like, I didn't care for that stuff. But Ewan McGregor as the bad guy in this is great, and he really should have been the Joker because he is a way better like antagonist. And every scene he's in it, he chews it. And I gotta say, this is probably his best performance, and this is coming from a kid that still hasn't seen the Trainspotting films in my life. But I don't care. I really love Ewan McGregor in this film. And I just like it. It's just a small scale story that takes place in Gotham City, and this was when DC was all about, like, you know, we're not really gonna build up to some kind of like big crossover event there. We're really just now gonna make individual films that feel like disconnected. And I enjoy it. I just enjoy this film a lot. I love the action. I love some of like the snappy editing at times. It's an enjoyable film to watch, and I like that it is only like an hour and 43 minutes. Coming in number 4 is Shazam! I think like really like the first really good like DCEU film in my opinion that's just like perfect on every level. I still like Aquaman, but it does have some of its issues. Shazam, I just think it is overall just really good when it comes to its characters, its writing, what it does like with the superhero stuff. I love it all. It's just a great film about these kids trying to find each other and it's all about family. That's why I love this aspect of it a lot more than in the second film. I still like the second film though. I like Mark Strong, Dr. Savannah. I like him in this movie. It's like maybe my favorite performance from that actor. Overall, like I love Shazam. I love what it does with all these characters, and it makes it fun, and it never feels annoying at all. I love this movie. This is one of like the best like comic book films that's just like, you know, small scale. I love it. I love everything about Shazam, and I've already said before, Zachary Levi is Shazam. That's all I can really say. Shazam is great. Coming in at number 3, the most controversial one, I think a lot more than Wonder Woman 84. That is The Flash. I know a lot of people have problems with this film. I mean, I think there's some things that are a little weird, but overall, I love most of this movie. This movie is just so much fun to watch, and as like a legacy film, and how it's able to really just be more of a Flash movie first, because that's what I love. and this film might have like 3 Batmans in the movie, like a Supergirl in there. But it's a Flash movie, and I think it's a great story about like Flash learning like why he is who he is, and that's because his pain, his tragedy is what like made him who he is, and it's about it. Like, I don't think I've ever seen a superhero film that really like acknowledges why superheroes are sometimes why they are. It's why Batman is, and how Batman like teaches like Barry like that important lesson. And I really love this movie. I like how I like all of the time traveling stuff. And I know people say like, oh, the effects are bad, but you know, I kind of agree. I think some of the effects are meant to look distorted. Maybe some of the other ones it isn't the best, but I think come on, but guys, this is like a lot better than Justice League. But at the same time, though, I don't think a lot of people have watched Justice League ever since the Snyder Cut came out. But that's what I'm trying to say is like I think the effects in this are just way better. And I think Ezra Miller, like, look, I know, like, I'm not gonna admit, I think he's done a lot of terrible things, but I think he is really good in this. And I think the way like both Barrys act off of one another is very good. And it is like the best, like the most impressive special effects in the movie. You guys all have to admit that it was a pretty impressive effect that they did there. And Keaton coming back as Batman, I think it was a treat to see, even though it wasn't really that Batman that we know, that version, because it was way more of a because again it was like a weird like combination of all the like Batmans that like existed, or like it's overall it's a combination between like Batman Returns, because it has the same like mansion and the same sets from Batman 89, but Batman Returns kind of changed a lot. But the only thing they kept from Batman Returns was the suit itself, because that suit was more accurate to the Batman poster, and the logo looked more like a bat. And I think he's really good. I also liked seeing Michael Shannon coming back as Zod. I think he was good at times, but it's very obvious though, like CGI and how they're covering it all up with like the shields. But overall, I think this is just a really good comic book movie where I think like the main thing I just love about it is that this isn't really a comic book movie about a like hero stopping this villain from like blowing up the world or like controlling the world with some power. It's just about this guy coming over the grief of the death of his mother and trying to get his father out of jail, as him coming to accept who he is and what's happened to him. And that's what I just love about this movie. Over like a lot of like comic book films that are coming out recently, that this is just about, it's not about the guy trying to blow up the world. It's just this guy coming over grief, and I don't think we get that a lot. So that's why I really liked The Flash, and it's probably my favorite superhero film of the year, up there with Ninja Turtles Mutant Mayhem. So coming in at number 2 is James Gunn's The Suicide Squad. Yeah, this movie is just nothing but fun. This is just the studio going, James Gunn, you were wrongfully fired by Disney for your stupid tweets. We're gonna give you this $1 million film that's not really connected to the Suicide Squad, even though there's gonna be some characters from Suicide Squad. Go make whatever the hell you want. And he just made the most fun comic book movie ever made, and I love everything about this movie. I love all the actors, the characters. I really like Idris Elba as the replacement of Will Smith's character. I like John Cena's character, because this was kind of like a redemption after F9 wasn't his best performance. I like that they brought Joel Kinnaman, the Flag. I like that they brought Flag back. I love Sylvester Stallone as the Shark. I like the Rat Woman. I like the Polka Dot Man. I like that they brought these characters in. I love the humor, the direction from James Gunn. It feels a lot more wild than any of the Guardians of the Galaxy films. I still haven't seen Slither or Super yet, but this movie is like way more energetic than any of the Guardians of the Galaxy films, but I really like it. And that's part of why I'm kind of excited for his new universe, to see like how, like what's he gonna do with all of these characters, and like what's gonna be like the direction of Superman Legacy. Is it gonna be different from? Is it gonna have a different tone than most of James Gunn stuff? That's why I'm excited for this universe. But back to this film, I love everything about it. I like the star at the end. How it's like it's one of the best like third acts ever in a movie, because it's how balls to the wall it is, with just Harley Quinn like stabbing it through the eye, and then just rats coming in. It's like the most crazy thing to ever see in a comic book movie, and I love it. I love this movie. This movie is insane, and I gotta stop talking about it, because I'm now just rambling on about how great I love it. It's the best directed DC film, best looking, best everything. But then why isn't this at number one? Alright, so coming in at number one as my favorite DCEU film is, of course, Zack Snyder's Justice League. Now, why this? It's 4 hours long. Unlike the Suicide Squad, it's more, Suicide Squad's more like fast-paced and action. This one's very slow. But I think what I like about it is just that how it deals with these characters. And how, unlike, with Marvel, because everyone kind of complained about how DC is like, oh, they're rushing this, they're trying to rush it all, without without giving a Cyborg, Flash, or Aquaman movie, it's not interesting to watch. But I think what really helps though is that it being 4 hours long helps, because you are able to know these characters a bit before they all come together. I feel like you learn more about the Flash, his relationship with his dad. You learn way more about Cyborg, and how we try to figure out who he is now. Same with Aquaman, who's now just a drifter in a way, or just he doesn't really want to confront his he doesn't want to confront his problems in Atlantis. And it just really brings these comic book characters together in a film that's just, it's the most epic feeling comic book movie ever. Not as epic feeling as Endgame, but it's a different kind of epic. It's someone once put it in a good way. It feels like you're watching a graphic novel, a really long story. That's about I like it more. It feels it's because it's how it just feels like a very character-based story, and how it all ends up. And I think Zack Snyder's direction and writing, because I really do feel like he learned a little bit from BVS, that make these characters more, give them more life, don't make them all moody, because this is a very it's for me, it might look less upbeat than Justice League, but it's very inspiring to watch. I don't know if this was his plan to begin with, but I think Snyder did a really great job by making this third film in this trilogy feel somewhat of a a different note, and on a different note. And I love everything about this movie. I really do. I love the imagery, the cinematography. I think all the actors are way better. Ray Stevens is really good in this. All the takes are better. There's no weird lip on Henry Cavill. They do a really good job ending his arc as Superman in a way this, because you feel like he's now finally become Superman by saying, now I have a second chance to do it right now as Superman. And I think it is great. Zack Snyder's Justice League, I think, is just the best one. And it's kind of sad to see that this franchise didn't really do as well as we all thought it did. And I really do hope James Gunn really does good with this new universe, by not rushing everything and not making everything maybe too dark. And but I gotta really say though, I've liked most of the DC films that came after after 2019. I think Birds of Prey, Wonder Woman 84, Suicide Squad's, the Snyder Cut. I think most films are, and the Flash. I feel like they're a lot better than most of the Marvel movies that are coming out. Besides, like No Way Home and Multiverse of Madness. I think if anything right now, I love DC a lot more than Marvel right now, because Marvel they're in a really bad shape, and I think DC, and I really feel even DC is gonna rise above Marvel, and they are going to be on top. They are going to be on top of Marvel now. I really think they will after Superman Legacy comes out and all the other films come out, because I think they will be really good. And I think for the first time since the 1990s, DC will be on top of Marvel. So thank you guys very much for watching this video, and please don't attack me for some of the choices that I've made. I'll see you next time for when we talk about every film that came out in 2023 in my worst to the best list videos that I'll be making soon. I'll see you next time. Bye.